We're here. We are alive. Somehow it keeps being Tuesday after like 3 days from the last one. I don't know how it works. Time is a mystery. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm here. I am going to talk about singing and any questions that you have. Hey, Chelsea, welcome. I usually don't have anything super prepared, but I kind of just go, download things and see what it comes out. But if you have any questions about anything that you're dealing with your voice, singing, music creation, anything, I'm here for it. And feel free to pop it in the chat, and I will hopefully be able to answer it. And if not, I will direct you to someone who can. Something that I have been thinking a lot about lately is safety. The last week I did a whole live on safety. I think it really is one of the most game-changing things about being an artist if you start thinking about your own safety as your first priority instead of how you sound or how other people think you sound, because when you're always thinking about whether you're good enough or whether you're going to do a good job instead of your actual body and your nervous system, you're always going to be in fixing mode and in comparison mode. And when you are in fixing mode as a singer, our connection to our actual mechanism is so tight-knit and so intimate and so immediate that because our nervous system reacts before even our mind does, it connects to our mechanism and tightens it up. So if you're worrying about the next phrase that you're about to sing, and you feel unsafe about it, then your nervous system's going to kick in and go, oh, we feel unsafe, tight. It's the same reaction as like curling up in a little ball or running away. It's a knee-jerk reaction. It's like when you stub your toe, oftentimes you say ow before you even feel any pain, right? It's because our nervous system is so quick. It's like almost premonition sometimes. It's so quick and we don't even realize it. So when you're afraid of something that's coming, you're going to be in fight mode and in fixing mode and in manipulation mode before it even comes out of your mouth. And your nervous system's going to be in charge, and it's going to be like, nope, we got to tighten up. We got to make sure this is really good. And so it goes, huh, right? And so it ends up being stiff or strained, or you can't even make it up to that note that you're trying to hit, because we're a human body with this hardware that was installed when we were born, and we can't get rid of it. But we can learn how to train it so that it learns how to choose a different reaction, a different path, instead of the knee-jerk reaction of, oh, this is a bad thing, we gotta fight it. Right? So we have to start training our nervous system in little teeny increments. This is not something that happens overnight, but we have to start training it that these tougher passages or singing in front of people is not the survival threat that our nervous system thinks it is. And I talk about this sometimes in the way that, like, from a biological standpoint, when we were cave people, we were literally part of groups so that we could survive, right? If you got kicked out of your group, you were not able to survive anymore because your group is what got you food, is what kept you warm. You were able to defend from predators. And so we have this very visceral need to be good enough, and this is why we worry so much about what other people think of us, especially as artists, especially as singers, because it's such a taste thing. We worry about some people not liking what you do, because on a biological level, like, it's not just because you are vain and you want somebody to let me check, and you want somebody to like you, but it's because biologically you don't get kicked out of the group, right? Man, this microphone thing, I tell you. Let me see if I can fix that. But you might want to just go to Instagram. I will switch my microphone. Sorry, there we go. Hopefully that's better. Hopefully you can hear now. Anyway, so yeah, safety is very important. But so is giving yourself lots of grace when you're singing. So, number one, taking care of your safety, making sure that your body is in a place of, okay, I am not in danger. Like, sometimes we have to go through our body in order to in order to adjust our nervous system and to teach it that we are safe, because your brain and your body don't always connect when your nervous system is dysregulated, at least in the same way. And so telling yourself, just using affirmations and mantras is helpful, but it's not always helpful when you're in like a physical dysregulation mode, so you can say, I am safe all I want, but it may not affect your actual nervous system state, especially if you're about to go on stage, right? I've discovered this many times. I can use all the mantras I want. I can tell myself I'm safe, it's okay, I'm not going to die, I'm okay, but still my body is freaking out because I know I have to go on stage in a minute, right? And so the bodily stuff is sometimes a different system than the emotional stuff and the mental stuff, and which is why I have discovered that we have to talk about all three of these layers, right? Your conscious self and your nervous system self and your mindset self. So we have to think about all these things, especially if you're about to go on stage. You start getting clammy hands, you start sweating a little bit more. Hey David, welcome. You start, finding the things that your body is telling you, hey, there's something big and scary about to happen. Because subconsciously you know that you're about to take a big risk and put yourself out there in a way that you don't usually, right? This is not everyday stuff. For some people it is, and they have trained their nervous system over time to not have as much of that clammy hands, stage fright kind of nervousness. For me, it's always there no matter how many times I get on stage, but it's just a lower level. So I'm sure there's some people out there like hardly have any registerable stage fright or nervous system like notifications that you're nervous. But for me, I know that it's probably never going to go away completely. I can just train my nervous system so that it lessens and it feels a little easier. So that's why over time, my goal has been just go sing in front of people more often. Press the live button on Instagram, right? I did a whole 100-day challenge. Do you still not have audio on the group? Sorry. Hopefully this is better. I did a whole 100-day challenge for myself in 2017, not knowing that this was my goal and that this would help with this. I just did it because I was like, I'm not challenging myself with my voice very much. I'm not putting myself out there very much. I think that'll be a good challenge for me. Totally. And you're super not alone. Everybody gets a different kind of stage fright, different nervous system reactions. Some people get dry mouth. Some people, their legs get wobbly. It's different for everybody else. And everybody has a different reaction, like fight or flight or freeze response. Everybody, based on your experience in life and your traumas, it ends up looking different for everybody. So it's good to know what your pattern is. But during this 100-day challenge I did for myself, I asked myself to go live every day, every single day, not live, post a video of myself singing at least 1 minute every single day for 100 days. And I was not allowed to do more than like 1 or 2 takes. I was not allowed to give myself disclaimers. So, above the post, be like, yeah, pay no attention to that horrible high note. I was not allowed to do that for myself because I knew that I was training my nervous system and training my imperfection muscle to just put out imperfect singing into the universe, because something inside of me knew that if I waited until it was perfect, I was never going to put anything out, and I didn't want to just keep waiting and waiting to be the singer that I wanted to be in the world. So I did it for 100 days, changed my freaking life in so many other ways. Like, not only was I auditioning for shows more confidently, I felt so much better about myself when I was doing it. I was able to post every day, and sometimes it was like I was like half asleep in bed, just like with my last mote of energy singing, and then pressing record, and then post, and it was just a goal that I made for myself, and it kept my own integrity with myself in a lot of ways as well. So like, no matter what I was going through, if I was having a hard day, if I was exhausted, if I just didn't feel like it, I made myself do it, because I knew that this training of my nervous system and my imperfection muscle was the most important thing I wanted for my future, as a singer, because I was still working in retail. I was just getting into my musical theater self, not really having a lot of confidence in myself yet. Around this same time, I think this was just after I played Mary Poppins, so I had a little taste of like, this is what I could do, but I still had panic attacks. And so I knew I needed to give myself this challenge in a different way. And so I did this for 100 days. By the way, I don't know if it was a side effect of this, or if it was a coincidence or what, but through this time I was going through a very intense breakup. We actually broke up like 5 days before the end of my 100 days. So I have a very strong feeling that it was because I kept saying yes to myself and kept putting what I wanted first and putting those boundaries out there, that I was able to actually say, hey, this relationship is not working for me. Can we do something about it? And then when the answer was no, I didn't shy away and say, okay, let's just keep it status quo. I kept saying yes to myself, because I had this evidence every single day for 100 days that even though I wasn't a perfect singer, my voice mattered. And I put it out there, and I put it out there, and I put it out there, because that's what I wanted the world to hear. And I wanted to share my voice with the world, even though I was wavering, even though I was exhausted, even though all these things. And so we ended up breaking up right before the end of the 100 days, because I had said, okay, this is not going to work then. Like, I don't want to end this, but I keep getting the answers that doesn't jive with where I am in my life, and it hadn't been working for a while anyway. So we both just realized that we needed to do what was better for ourselves individually, instead of trying to keep something together that didn't necessarily work. So regardless if it was because of this 100-day challenge or not, my whole life transformed during this period, because I started to say yes to myself over and over again, So putting myself out there, putting myself on camera every day, imperfectly, recording the first take most of the time, is a very scary thing. It's not for everybody, but I highly recommend at least 60 days putting yourself out there, because, thanks Joe, thanks for all that validation, feels good, because you are giving yourself the safety that you need, right? It is inherently a slightly unsafe feeling to put yourself on camera, to put yourself out there and share your voice, no matter what you sound like, no matter where you are in your vocal journey. But the safety comes from you telling yourself, no matter what I put out there, I am safe. I've got myself. No matter what comments I get from people, no matter if people don't understand what the hell I'm doing, I care enough about myself and my goals and my dreams to put it out there anyway. Every day, day after day, for 100 days. So a lot of the other piece of safety is, how do I give that safety to myself in my body? And so through this time, I was going through this breakup, and I didn't have my number one co-regulator with me, right? I didn't have this other person to say, it's okay, you're fine, you're loved. So I really had to train myself to do that for me. So I had to be my own safety blanket. And that was a skill that I never realized I needed so much, right? I did this across the ocean move, but it was with another person. Anything I had done before, it was with other people to help me. Faith, yeah, totally. I learned that I needed to have faith to push the button every day. And then after that happened, I got evidence over and over and over again that I was good enough, right? I gave myself that evidence that even if nobody commented on my videos, which there were plenty of those, and nobody gave a crap that I was singing for 100 days, day 45, people were like, she's still doing this. I'm sure some people thought that. But then there were people that liked it every time and were like, this is amazing. Can you do this song? Keep going. And I learned to not take either of those as the weight and the meaning of my voice and who I was as a singer, and to give myself that safety that I needed, So before I did it, I would just, check in with myself and be like, whatever comes out, it's okay. It's okay. I love you. You're good enough. And I was learning a lot of different body techniques at the time. Like, I was working out a lot more, and I was trying to, we were dog sitting, I think, towards the end of it. I was taking the dog for a walk a lot, just like connecting with animals, connecting with myself, doing a little bit of tapping here and there too. If you don't know what tapping is, EFT, I think, is the other name for it. Pretty cool stuff. I really like it. But most of the time I was just laying there in bed going, it's okay. Whatever anybody says, it's okay. I know I'm good. And that's all that matters, So this is kind of what I want you to do as a singer, no matter where you are in your growth. Like, I want to say career, but some people don't like that word because they're like, I don't want to have a music career because I don't care enough about it, or I don't need to make that much money. But it's a career because you are a singer and you want to sing, and that's part of your life. So that's how I mean career. But no matter where you are in your career, if you're just starting to write songs, put them out there, share them with the world. If you're just starting to even sing at all in front of other people, it really is an important thing for you to think about your own safety. And how can you, number one, change your environment, but also, even if your environment sucks, give yourself that safety that you need. And I talk a lot with my students about dealing with all three of these layers that we talk about, right? So like your outward self, like you can have, I have 800 notes on the wall that, remind me that I do love this, and even when it gets hard, I can let it be easy, and reminders that I can keep going. And then, so that kind of gets into my mindset a little bit. Also just singing around the house and singing it with other people who I do feel safe singing around, and that is building my nervous system every day. And then just talking about it out in the world is really important also for your nervous system, to hear your own voice talk about yourself as a singer. I bet that none of us think about how much your own voice in your own ear matters, because the more you surround yourself with voices that lift you up, in regards to your art, the better you're going to do. Chelsea knows this as well as I do, that having a musician community to support you changes everything, right? So the more you hear voices that say, yes, keep going, you're doing great, it really fuels you so much more, right? Instead of sitting in your room by yourself in your own head, the gremlin voice is going to come in immediately, right? So back in the day when I didn't have a lot of musician friends, a lot of other singer friends, I would just be in my own head, and the gremlin voice would come in and be the loudest voice in my head. One of my other mentors, Heather, she has merch, a t-shirt that says, "Don't let the monster be the loudest voice in your head." And it's absolutely true. The more you can balance out your own gremlin voice with more positive voices, just based on quantity of voices in your ear, you're gonna feel safer to do the thing that you want to do. We need each other. Exactly. Totally. Exactly. You couldn't even be doing what you're doing without that community, without other people who get you, who support you, who say, yes, it's imperfect, keep going. It's good enough. You're great. We accept you. Because your gremlin is going to come in every time and be like, oh, this is not good enough yet. It's not where you want it to be. You might as well just not share it. Right? Your gremlin's going to be like, you should save yourself any pain and just not share your voice ever. Right? And this is exactly what happens when you come in and you start to go for this high note. Your gremlin's like, some of it might be your nervous system, but sometimes your gremlin's like, ooh, who are you to sing that high note? And so then your body reacts with, oh, wait, I should keep myself safe, not try and sing this high note because I might mess up and I might sound quote unquote bad and somebody else might hear me and kick me out of the group. And then I might die, right? We go all down that negative feedback cycle. We take it all the way to the end of the line, to the worst possibility, because that's the gremlin superpower. It's what it does. And so the more you can quiet that gremlin, which is something I work with my students on a lot, is like, how do we, number one, know who that gremlin is, where these voices are coming from, so you can separate and not feel like it's your own voice in your head that you need to listen to. Separate it, give it a name, give it a body shape, like visualize it. Totally, yeah, your music friends are really helpful in helping, right? 1-2 punch that gremlin. Yes, but it takes practice, right? So it takes help at first, which is what I'm here for as well. Mentors, other musician friends, super helpful. But then once you have that practice separating yourself from your gremlin, you also need to drown it out sometimes, because your gremlin's always going to come back. It's never going to be gone forever. It's always going to come back. It's always a part of you. It's hardwired into you, remember? And so the more you can start to drown it out with voices that tell you, yes, you're good enough. You're doing so well. I love what you're doing. I love your voice. Keep going. It will start to balance out those scales. And so then the nice supportive voices will be the ones that you go to first, because you build that muscle memory to think, no, what would my coach say, right? What would Sarah say? That's why I tell my students, just have me in your head all the time. See if you can drown your own gremlin voice out with my voice. That's going to always tell you you're good enough. You are here for a reason. You are an art maker. You are a creative person. It matters in the world, because do you know how many people in the world squash their own creative instincts because they don't think they're good enough? Freaking most of them. Most of the billions of people in the world do that. Sometimes we don't have a choice. We got to go to work and we don't have time or energy to be creative, and that's fine. But if you have this desire and you're literally squashing it before you even try it, it's not going to work out very well, right? And that's most of the people in the world. So if you are here, you are one of those people, there's like 1% of the world that is actually acting on their musical desires, acting on the fact that they want to grow as a musician, and giving yourself a good environment, because you are here connecting with other people who are singers and musicians who get you, right? So this is part of giving yourself that bodily safety, making sure you're surrounding yourself with voices that give you that feeling of, yeah, I can try, I can keep going. I know this wasn't perfect, but I'm going to freaking do it again because I told myself I would do it again. I have to do this for 100 days because I have integrity with myself. And yeah, totally, you can have creativity everywhere. I love that, Joe. That's perfect. So keep saying yes to you. Keep saying yes to your creativity. And will build up your safety muscle. that will remind your brain that you trust yourself. And then you start saying things out loud. Like when you talk to people, when you meet somebody new and they're like, hey, what do? You can be like, I'm a singer, but I have this side job right now. I'm a singer. And then they'll start thinking of you mainly as a singer or a musician or whatever you identify as. And so then you'll hear your own voice say that out loud, and you'll be like, oh, that felt pretty good to hear that. Like, I've only ever heard like professional musicians call themselves that. And there's a reason why, because they started believing that they were before they got to that point of all the money that they're making. Because they believed in themselves enough to say, I am a singer first and foremost. And nothing else really matters. Everything else is just a brick on my yellow brick road to my journey where I want to go. And it's a never-ending journey, so you never really land anywhere. That's what I keep hearing from people further ahead than me. But you have to hear your own voice say the things, right? You have to hear your own voice say, yes, you are a singer. And then when you say that out loud to somebody else, not only do you hear it, but they hear it as well. And they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then they start to think, okay, how can I connect with this person who is a singer? Oh, have you heard of that open mic? You should go do that open mic. Oh, I have this friend who's an awesome keyboard player and he's been looking for singers. Let me connect you. Magic happens when you start freaking saying who you are out loud. On the inside to the outside. So, because thoughts are just energy, and if you put them outside of yourself by saying it out loud, they become action. They become kinetic energy. They can become the fuel that you need to go do the thing you need to do. When before, you were just sitting in your room listening to your gremlin and being shut down because that was the only voice that you were hearing in your head, right? You didn't feel safe because the gremlin voice was sitting here going, nope, 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 can't do it. So if you can outweigh that gremlin voice, however you need to, with others. Oh, I'm so glad. That makes me so happy, Joe. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, because this work that we do together is such a huge part of you being able to remind yourself that you are safe to sing those big high notes. You're safe to sing the song that you never thought you could sing in front of people. Safe to share this beautiful song that you wrote, right? It takes building up that foundation. It takes building up the imperfection muscle I talked about, right? That 100-day challenge that I did for myself, it helped me in 800 different ways, but it helped me on all 3 layers of myself as a singer. It gave me the permission and a reason to say yes to myself every single day. And then I started to build on that. I started to just build up more bricks, right? Built up my boundary wall so that other people's bullshit didn't come in at me and break me down. And it also kept building up the bricks of I am safe to sing. I'm safe to put out something imperfect. I'm safe to sing in front of other people even if I'm nervous. I'm safe to keep singing even though my hands are shaking. I'm safe to keep singing even though this song is something I never thought I could do. I'm safe to keep singing even though my voice broke. All of this stuff you are convincing yourself over and over again, not in a gaslighting way, but you are convincing yourself and giving yourself literal scientific evidence that you can do the thing, even imperfectly, even though it didn't go as planned, and you are safe, right? So make sure you feel safe before, but the actual doing of the thing, the taking the little step outside the comfort zone, the building of the bricks and putting yourself out there is the thing that is going to make you feel better about doing the thing in bigger ways in the future. So unfortunately, there's no quick fix, right? I can't wave a magic wand and say, you are not nervous anymore. It's not a thing that I can do. I wish I could, because I wish I had that too. But it really makes a difference over time when you start to go put one more toe in the water, right? One more toe in the ice water, and then that toe regulates. it's like, oh, okay, this water's not cold anymore. Then you stick your ankle in. It's like, oh, okay, a little cold. Oh, okay, it feels more normal. And then you stick your shin in, and you're like, okay, that feels better. And over time, as you start to continuously take small risks and show yourself that you are okay, you are safe, you didn't die, you sang that song, it wasn't perfect, but you also didn't die, nobody said anything bad about you, even though you thought they would. Your gremlin was telling you, oh my god, think of all the horrible things they're going to say. None of that happened. And then you're like, okay, maybe it is safe to put my knee in. Maybe it is safe to go in up to my hips. Maybe it is safe to put my whole dang body in, because I know that I got myself. I don't need to rely on anybody else to catch me, because I know that I can swim. I can sing whatever the heck I want to. Even though it's not perfect yet, I can still do it, because I have the tools, and I'm alive. After taking all of these risks, all the hard things you've ever done in your life, you're still here. It's the same thing. It's like, I don't want to say it's like, whatchamacallit, what's the word I'm thinking of? The therapy where you shove yourself into hard situations. It's not like that. It's over time, little teeny increments. I don't know what the word I'm thinking of. So yeah, that's, I think, something that us creatives overlook a lot. I reposted this thing on my other page today that said, you don't have to be in a good place or fully healed to make and share your art. So often I get people coming to me saying, I'm not there yet. I'm not ready yet. I don't feel like I'm in a very good place. I don't feel like I'm good enough to share my voice. And I say, why are we waiting for that? Because most of the art that you love, the singers that touch your soul when you hear them sing, are in the middle of the muck, right? They wrote that song when they were going through some shit. They are singing from an imperfect place. Like, think of the times that you've ever heard one of your favorite singers just like their voice break on stage. You're not sitting there going, oh, how dare they? Right? You're singing, oh my god, they're really feeling it. And I'm feeling it too. And that's what we want from artists. We go to art looking for the mirror in ourselves. Somebody that's willing to open up their chest and say, this is what's happening inside of me. Is it happening in you too? And we go to those people because they have trained themselves how to open up safely. They give themselves that safety so that they can open up and let people see inside of them, and then keep it locked up nice and tight after that. We learn to be the people who share those emotions so fully, but we have to do the work to keep ourselves safe in that situation. If you just are in this raw emotion and you just go dump on somebody, that doesn't feel good, right? To be dumped on. But if you do that safety work beforehand, if you remind yourself that you are safe here, here, and here, and then you go open yourself up on stage, then people are like, oh my god, that's what I feel too, but I could never be so brave as to share that. I could never open up my chest and share that with the world. I could never open my mouth and just make noise in an emotive way. But this is why we're here. We love doing that. We want people to hear our innermost vulnerable selves. We want to open up our chest. We were born this way, right? Some people might think we're freaking insane for being these kind of people. But this is why the world needs artists, because most people, 99% of the people walking through the world, are too scared to open up and show the emotion and to feel all the way through that emotion. And if we are the brave ones that are willing to do that, we want to do that, we want to sing for people, we want to hit those big high notes that make you just get chicken skin all over, we have to do it safely. You can't just open up your chest, give yourself open heart surgery out of nowhere. You have to take all the precautions, right? You have to wash your hands. You have to put on gloves. You have to have all the right tools to sew yourself back up. Totally. They think we're insane, but then deep down they need us and they know it. Because think of all those people that are like, oh, I could never go on stage. Look at their playlists. They love music. They need music. Or people who go to art museums and they buy art to put in their house so that they feel something. Exactly, they're drawn to us. They need us. But if you want to do this, if you are a person that is creative and you can't not sing, you can't not share your music with the world, we have to take care of ourselves first. And by doing that, putting yourself out there from a safe place, that is how we grow. That is how we get one step further. That's how we stick your ankle in the ice water. Because without that safety, your body's mechanism is going to be like, oh, no, that's a bad idea. That's scary. That's going to be dangerous for me, right? And so it has to be building yourself up before you do that, reminding yourself that you are the adult in this situation and that I got me. And I will make the decision when the time comes if I feel like I'm in danger. But right now, I'm going to take this extra little step, right? And so when you are working up a song to go sing on stage and you're about to sing this really high note and all of a sudden you feel that gremlin voice come in like, who do you think you are? And your voice tightens up and your whole body tightens up. You have to be the one to train yourself in that moment to be like, I am safe. Give yourself some tapping, grab a hold of yourself, do some planks or something to get your body moving so that you can get back into your body and out of this gremlin mind and just be like, I got this. I know how to make high notes work, and I know I have to let go instead of hold on for dear life. I know that because I've done it before with Sarah. I know that because I've done it in my car, in the shower. Those high notes come out and they're beautiful when I let the F go. Right? I am safe. I got me. Sing that freaking note. Yes. Exactly. That's all we do when we're on the side of the stage. I got this. Whatever happens, I'm safe. I'm not going to die, even if I hit a wrong note. Wrong note, right? There's no such thing as wrong notes. Or any stage. Yeah, exactly. Making sure you got this. And even if you're not sure, I always say, like, you're never going to feel probably 100% ready. That's not the goal that we're waiting for in order for you to go on stage. You just have to feel like you got yourself. You have a safety net if something happens. You know what to do, right? And you have done this training work. You have done this nervous system work. You have done this separation from the gremlin work to know without a doubt that sure, you might fall apart. You know, if you go on stage, it doesn't go how you want it to. Of course, you're human. Come backstage and fall apart. Cry. Shit happens. Right? It's okay to feel that. It's okay to feel bad. But then after that, once you come all the way through that emotion, it's okay. I got you. You are alive. You didn't die. What other people think is not everything. I am still worthy as a singer. So before and after, you have to take care of yourself, and during. And when you take those little steps, that's how you build up that wall. That's how you build up this resiliency and power as a singer. The cool thing is that resiliency and power come at the same time when you're doing this work, right? You're finding the power that you need to hit those big belty Adele notes, and you're building the resiliency to come back and do it again, even if you mess up. Because you took that leap, didn't die. Took that leap, didn't die. Tuck your toes in, regulates, feels better, right? It doesn't feel quite as scary. It doesn't feel like such a big of a leap anymore. Oh, I love this topic. It's very important to me. I'm learning how to do this on my own in different layers of my creative self. I'm at a point right now where I have created music that now my goal is to pitch to film and TV executives. And that is a very scary place for me. I have done all this work in the wings of stages, I haven't been performing recently because I've been just recording a whole bunch. So now recording feels more like it is more, the water's not so cold anymore. And now I have to send emails. And this is where my rubber meets the road, right? This is where my nervous system goes, are you sure you want to send this email? Are you sure they're gonna not hate you forever and ever? So wherever you are in your singing career, you keep butting up against these challenges, And so my next goal is to do a 100-day challenge with myself. I'm just coming up with this right now. This is what I need to do. 100-day challenge with myself. Send one pitch email every day. Because it worked so well last time when I was pushing the red button on Instagram. I learned that I care about myself so much that I can put out imperfect stuff. Even if it's not as good as frickin' Adele or Beyonce, my music is still good, right? I have gotten that feedback from multiple other people. It's not just me anymore, which is why I feel okay enough to pitch it. But I need to build up this imperfection muscle when it comes to this bigger stage that I'm on. So I'm just telling you that to show you that it never ends. The more confident you feel as a singer, there's always a bigger stage, a bigger red button to push. The buttons just keep getting bigger and bigger. But they don't feel as big anymore. The recording button when I'm in the vocal booth doesn't feel so scary anymore. It used to, but now it doesn't anymore. Walking on stage, singing my butt off, doesn't feel quite so scary anymore. Feels fun. Sometimes it feels scary when I'm on a bigger stage with more people watching. But sometimes actually smaller stages feel more mind-boggling because people are right here in front of you and you're like, oh God, you can see if I have anything in my teeth. That is very close. Okay. So it really does make a difference to do this work, is what I'm saying. And most people don't talk about this, which is why I'm here. That's why I'm talking about it. I love it so much. So if you know other singers, if you know other musicians, and you think they would benefit from doing this work, please share. It helps me out. It's really cool to see people from different walks of life come and see what you get from this. So let me know. Put in the comments right now what's your favorite thing. What's your little post-it that you're taking away from this, that you're going to put a post-it up on the wall and remind yourself. It's helpful, I promise. I'd show you my wall right now, but it's covered in curtains. I've got a lot of them. It's all helpful, because I don't look at them all every day, but every once in a while I'll look over at one, and I'll be like, ooh, that's the one I needed today. And these all come from other mentors that I've had, so highly recommend giving yourself a little environmental boost with those little affirmations, even though in moments of nervous system dysregulation it's not terribly helpful, but it's helpful a lot of the rest of the time. Give yourself all the tools you need. There's no just one tool that works for everybody. Give yourself a whole tool belt. Anybody have any questions before I go? This was a long one. I got really excited. Excuse me. So yeah, I really love talking about this so much. It's so important for any creative to think about your nervous system, your gremlin, your mindset, your safety. You've got to take care of our own safety first. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to feel like you're going off a cliff, and that's not a good feeling. Feel the emotions. Be free because you're safe. I love that. That's a great post-it. Feel the emotions. Take care of yourself before and after. But yeah, so often we don't let ourselves feel all those things, and so that breeds unsafety too. You don't feel like within your own body you're safe to feel those emotions. So that's very important. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go. If you are watching this after the fact, feel free to comment what you took away from this. What was your favorite part? What's your post-it moment? And if you are watching this after fact and you are new to my world, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Chelsea. It's so nice to have you. And Wes and Belle, if you're here. And Joe, if you're still here. Please share this video with other singer musician friends. Share my page. I have a couple freebies in the bio. I have a mini ebook that I love to share with people. It's the very basics of this work. I also have audio exercises that are for free that you can download. You'll be in my world, and you'll get emails from me, and I'll let you know more of these little tips and tidbits of gold when they come through me. And sounds weird. And I'm opening the doors to my Vocal Magic program, which is my signature 6-month group program for these reasons, because it's hard to do this stuff alone. So if you're curious, if you want to be a stronger, more powerful, resilient singer in 6 months, let me know. I'm opening the doors middle of July. We'll probably start beginning of August. And that's happening very soon, and I'm so excited to start a new group. This week, my current group is about to do their first performance, and I'm really excited for them. It's going to be so good. So yeah, if you're interested in that, let me know. There's a trial session. You can book a trial session in the bio as well, and ask me more questions about it, and you can get on the wait list right now. Just send me a DM. I'll put you on the wait list, and then we can talk about it, see what's right for you. I also have a couple private coaching spots left for the summer, so let me know if you want to participate in any of those. But thank you for being here, and I love you, and I will see you very soon, hopefully before next Tuesday. My goal is to post more than just these lives, so hold me to that, will you? All right,